Hello and welcome back to DME Podcast. My name is Omomi and I am excited to have you here today. A beautiful thing that I would like to start with is to let you know that the goal of this podcast is to put you in an environment where you can have someone talk to you from the perspective of a regular or a normal Nigerian, someone who can relate to your struggles as a Nigerian youth or teen growing up in our environment, our Nigerian community, someone who can relate to the struggles of WAEC, the hurdles of JAMB, the issues that we face in our university setting, and then our normal society and not having access to certain information that could or open our minds to certain opportunities and all of that stuff. And so, before I get into the conversation of today properly, I'd like to ask, how are you? How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I know usually we say fine when someone asks, how are you? But then I really want you to look into your soul, look into your mind. Are you really fine? Are you really happy about yourself? It's a question for you to answer. Also, I would be linking or I'll be writing my WhatsApp contact in the description for those who would want to reach out to me later or who would want me to send the links to or the link or links to episodes from this podcast directly and generate for anything else related to personal development. Now, going into the business of today. For me, I am a strong believer that getting the foundation or setting the foundation of anything right is a very big step because your foundation is like the most important part of whatever it is you want to build. And so the foundation I'd like to set in this very first episode is the foundation of intentionality and determination. I don't want you to be someone who just comes, listens, gets motivated in quotes, and then you return to being the kind of person that you used to be. My goal here is not to motivate you. Of course, you should be motivated after listening to each episode, but then it's important that you take action, and which is the foundation I want you to set right. You have to be intentional. I have heard people say, I registered for that course, I paid for that training, and I did not even get anything. No, it is not because your coach did not do his job or her job. It is because you did not do your job. You were not intentional enough. Someone might pay 20,000 naira for that 500,000 naira course you paid for and get out much more better than you. And so intentionality. Whatever you hear here, take steps. If you do not take steps, you would remain the same person. If, for instance, you want to be someone who speaks better, who is more confident when you speak, you have to take steps. And so as we're going to be sharing the tips and all of that, make sure that you are intentional. Personal development is about intentionality. If you're not intentional, if you're not ready to take steps, if you're not ready to make move and to do it consistently, you will remain the exact way you are. You'll just come, listen, be gingered, and then you return to who you used to be. And that will not get you anywhere. And so if you want to see change, if you want to become a different person, it's important that you are intentional. And I'm talking about intentionality. I want you to look at yourself. I want you to pick up a pen. I want you to pick up a paper because this is a journey that we are going on together. Write 5 things about yourself that you would like to improve. It might be things that you used to be afraid of, maybe your biggest fears or the biggest things or the things that you would like to achieve. I want you to write down those 5 things. Do not forget intentionality. If you're intentional, you actually would be picking your pen and your paper right now and you would be writing those things down. That is how to improve. That is personal development. I'd like to share a story with you. I used to be a very timid person. Very timid. Very, very timid. I mean, my mates could be talking to me and I would not be able to defend myself. You understand that kind of timidity. And then I have grown by God's grace to someone who can talk to thousands of people, millions of people, and I would not be timid. How did this happen? Of course, there are many things that contributed, but a pivotal part or point that I would say in my life, was when I got an opportunity to be the host for a particular event. I agreed to host the event, but then hours before the event, I was timid. I was actually thinking of calling and saying that I was not going to be available. And I know that there are a lot of you listening here that are like that. Because of fear, you turn down opportunities because you feel like you might not do well, you might flop, and all of those stuff. And so I actually was contemplating reaching out and saying I would not be available, that they should look for someone else to host the event and all of that. But then that thing kept on coming to me. Face your fears, and that's the truth. If you want to be a better person, if you want to go past the level you are now, if you want to be that person that you imagine yourself to be, that if you want to achieve those things that you wrote down or that you have written down or that you plan to write down on that piece of paper, you have to face your fears. And this is something you have to tell yourself, because that is the step that takes you to the next level that you want to get to. If you do not build up some courage and take those steps, you would remain who you used to be. You remain where you are. And so that quote came to me, just kept on coming to me. You have to face your fears, me, if you want to get to the next level, if you want to be that person that is no longer timid, that can face crowd, that can do a lot of things and all of that. And so I was like, okay, I was going to do that. And then the scripture came to me, if I perish, I perish. And so I decided that, okay, I'm going there. So when I went there, I made sure to dress really nicely. So these are little things that you can actually do to boost your morale. Dress nicely, smell nicely. I dressed so well that when I got there, I even received compliments. So, and then I did my thing. Did I make mistakes? Yes. Did I make errors? Yes. But was it smooth? Yes. I got compliments. You did so well. And all of that. You get all those things that people say at the end of everything. And not flattery. Truth. So that was the start. At that point, I was like, yes, I can speak to thousands and millions. And it's the truth, because I have talked in places with more crowds than that after then. Imagine if I turned down that opportunity. Some of you have opportunities to be leaders, to head certain units, to take charge of certain conversations. Different kinds of opportunities are given to you, but then you turn them down because you feel like you are not good enough. And it is a lie. The people you're talking to are human beings. That thing that you're running away from is something that should be done by a human being. Why do you think another human being is in a better position to do that thing? Any opportunity that presents itself to you is a blessing from God. And so one of the ways to achieve what you want is to face your fears. And so that is one of the things that I would just like to share with you, in addition to the foundation of intentionality that I have said we should lay. And so become intentional about the things that you've written. Become intentional about facing your fears. It might be as little as standing up for yourself. It might be as little, just say yes. That opportunity is coming to you. Just say yes. Say yes to it, and then you will figure it out. A lot of the people who are doing the things that you admire, they're doing it. Some people are doing it afraid. Some people said yes, afraid. And from there, they're able to learn and you're able to admire them and all of that. Why can't you be the person that someone would admire simply because you decided to face your fears? And so the next opportunity that comes to you, whatever opportunity, whatever it may be, say yes, do it. It's okay to fail. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. You are a human being. These are the things that build you up and make you to be better as a person, and that even sets you up for higher, better opportunities and all of that stuff. And so basically, the two things, if there are two things I would like you to get away with, first of all, be intentional. That should be your foundation, intentionality, if you're going on this journey with me. And secondly, face your fears. Until by next week Sunday, when the next episode will be released, I will be asking you how far. So I want you, an intentional person, will tick at least one of the boxes in the list that they have made today. That is how to measure if you're being intentional. My name is Omowumi, and this podcast is brought to you by About the Voice. Until I come your way again next Sunday, stay intentional.